I don't know what's going on. I don't understand this. Check one, check two, check one, check two. All right. You're live. We're live. You're watching Sober Talk. Let me get us situated here and we'll rock it out, people. You guys got to help me with the levels tonight. I'm practicing unity gain in this new board I have, and I don't know what's working and what's not working. I got a toy. I got a toy right there. There's David Edmiston. He's here. Joe Harris. How about this guy? How about this level right here? How does this sound? That's the question. That mic in there has a whole different mixing board. And when Bev hollered, oh, Bev, 3 people beat you. DA beat you, Joe Harris. In Bev's defense, I didn't have the right button pushed back over there. So you know how we do. We give this a couple. Wow, that is loud. Check one, check two, check one, check two. Yeah, there we go. Hey, how are you? So let's just sit here. There's Jim Hoyt. Day 7. Everybody give Jim Hoyt a big round of applause. Day 7. Now, you don't go out Friday and, man, I got this, and celebrate because you have, when that rolls around, you have 9 days. So Bill Malloy's here, and curious to see what you think. What you guys think about the level. Ain't you something, buddy, with the sound effects? I am DA. Well, hold on. What's this? Hold on. Oh, shoot. That's going to be my kid. No, that was a kid. Well, don't let the kids come to your office and play with your equipment. It's, All right, enough playing around. So, guys, thanks for tuning in to Sober Talk. You're here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious. Now, I've tried quitting drinking many of times. I've quit for 6 months. I've quit for a year. The last big run I had was 2 years, and wow. So and I always go back. I always think I have it beat. I always think I'm good. And now at my age and where I'm at, I'm not going to let that vicious cycle take me over. It's not going to happen. Today I was very agitated about some things. I'm trying to do a firmware update on my board. I do everything here, and I really want to hire someone to come in at night to help me. And I was like, I'm just going to the, Jim Hoyt's a bartender. Congrats. But so I'm reading from the Facebook here on Sober Talk. I will switch back and forth, pivot back and forth to Tom Mabe comedy because something really bad happened last night. But before I get to that, I've been sober, but I've never been happy. And I always say this every single show. Living alcohol-free is one thing, but living alcohol-free and happy, that's a different thing. So how do you know if you got a problem? If it causes problems. Then you have a drinking problem or some kind of problem. So, anywho, so last night, I cross-post this show on 2 other pages. Mabe in America, my watch page, and Tom Mabe Comedy, my comedy page. It's a fan page. And yes, please, more volume. Up the volume just a little. Okay, so here we go. Check 1, check 2. Did that do anything? Let me know there, guys. No, Sarah Ann, I'm good. It's just I'm just not going to lie to myself. And we can't hear you. Oh, my word. So you can't hear me at all, guys? How about now? Anybody? Check 1, check 2. And I'll get this adjusted. You know what? I'm just going to bring it up here. Screw the unity gain. I'm bringing it up to where it was yesterday, and I will work on this tomorrow. So there we go. We're there. So for podcast reasons and for editing reasons, let me start from the scratch. So this is gonna. So they when Carrie comes in and edit this, she won't be all mad at me because levels are everywhere. So hey, welcome to Sober Talk. It is day 83 for me. No alcohol. You are here because you want to get sober. You need to get sober. Or perhaps you're just sober curious. Regardless, we are glad you're here. How do you know if you got a drinking problem? If it causes problems. So there you go, man. I've quit many times. I quit for 6 months. I quit for a year. I quit for 2 years. But now I'm trying it a different way. I've tried it all different other ways, and nothing ever worked. So it didn't turn out well for me. That vicious cycle always came back. So, anywho, last night you guys were watching. I cross post on both Mabe in America and Tom Mabe Comedy, and I wasn't watching the comments on Tom Abe Comedy, and there was some guy just saying, "Please, someone call me. Please, someone call me. I'm having a god awful time here. I need help." And we totally ignored him because we were looking at the comments on Sober Talk. So I got Sober Talk Facebook page, I got Tom Abe Comedy, and I got Mabe in America, my watch page that I cross post on all three. So tonight I'm going to uh, pivot back and forth, toggle back and forth between Tom Abe Comedy and Sober Talk. So I want to apologize. I called the guy. I had his number. When I got home, I was watching the podcast. I started reading the comments on Tom Mabe Comedy, and boy, this guy was really, really. He's like, please, someone call me. He just wanted to talk to somebody. So he is going to be our first call tonight. I'm very excited about that. His name is David, and let's get right to it. I'll give David a call here. And as the volume, okay, Sandy says the volume is much better. All right, good deal, good deal, good deal. So, Sober Talk guest, let's go with David here. And hopefully he will pick up. If not, we'll go to our next caller, and we'll
Hello.
Hey, David. Tom Mabe from Sober Talk. How you doing?
I'm doing good tonight.
All right.
Thanks for calling.
No, man. Sorry, I was just telling the guys here watching that I was watching the comments on the Sober Talk page and not the comments on Tom Mabe Comedy, and I just felt like crap when people were like, call David," and I'm like, you had to think I was an idiot or a total ass. So hey, do me a favor, turn your computer down.
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Yeah, you can't. It's like a 10-second delay, and it's recording.
Yeah, let me turn my TV down too as well.
Cool, cool. So you sound awful. You sound a lot better than what you did last night, man. You sound like you were in a real bad place.
I'm still in a bad place.
So tell me, what? Tell me your story, brother.
Yeah.
And are you? I'm no right or wrong answer because I'm not a doctor. I'm not judging. But are you drinking right now?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Just curious. So tell me your story.
Yeah. I've been clean from heroin for like 7, 8 years now.
Wow. If you beat that, that's a rare. That's quite the feat because not many people get off that stuff.
Right, and I did it with a medication, of course, but I'm clean from that now.
So you are clean from the medication as well?
No, I'm still on the medication. I'm just on a lower dose. I'm on a maintenance dose.
And are you going to eventually taper off that, you think? Or is that
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Gotcha. So go ahead.
But when I got sober, I work at a place where we hire high school kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took in a kid that was working there because he was being abused and all this. Mentally and physically, he was being abused.
Gotcha.
So I ended up getting custody of him. He lived in my house. He lived with me for years. He's my son. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I adopted him. He's all that.
I see.
Well, recently, when he turned 18, he got into some trouble for hanging out with the wrong people. He got arrested for murder.
So he got arrested for, I don't understand. Did he do it?
No, he didn't do it. He gave somebody a ride. This is what happened.
Okay.
They went to rob. I guess he was forced to give these guys a ride because he's only person had a car. They had him at gunpoint. They forced him to give them a ride to rob these other guys. Well,
Okay.
the other guy, the only guy that showed up, shot one of his friends. Well, my son took off because he didn't want nothing to do with it, but his name came up and he was charged with the murder.
How long is he? Is it like first degree murder? Or is it what level of murder is it? Part of my
Well,
ignorance.
it came down to after, because this was a year ago, and this is when I started drinking again, but he ended up getting charged with involuntary manslaughter.
And what kind of sentence is that? And I want to circle back around to how does this tie in? But what kind of sentence is that?
Well, he got the less, because out of the group of kids he was with, he got the least amount of time. He got 5 to 7 years.
Okay. And how old of a kid is he?
He's 19 now.
And how long has he been in prison?
About a year.
Okay.
He went in when he was 18.
So he's still going to be a young guy when he gets out. And
Yeah,
let me okay, so that's enough to make anyone drink. I totally get it. We had a guy on last night. His brother died, and the very next day, his father died, and that was
right.
Jeremy. Uh,
Yeah,
so,
I was listening.
and both of you guys, what I can't imagine what you're going through. So you started self-medicating. You start dealing with your son going to prison. Did you start back on heroin again, or just alcohol?
No, I did. Well, it wasn't heroin, but I went to the psychiatrist. He prescribed me Xanax. I
That's
started taking handfuls of those and drinking vodka on top of them. Well, he cut me off of those. I was buying them off the street. I almost died. A person that works somewhere that helps me. I can't really say her name or anything, but or where she works. But she ended up taking me to the hospital. I went to the hospital. I spent 7 days in the ICU because I was about dead.
okay.
My whole body swelled up. I mean, I looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
And that's
Well,
from yeah. No, I get it.
then I got out of there. I got out. I was okay for a couple days, and then he got shipped off, and just it happened again. You know, I kept buying them, buying them, buying them. I got kicked out of 2 different hotels for being so messed up. Sorry, excuse my language.
That's all right, man.
Beat that.
Yeah, we're live. I don't think beeping is an option right now, but that's okay. But go ahead.
But I got kicked out of 2 different hotels. The last hotel I got kicked out of, uh, I called a friend from work. He happened to be driving right past the hotel at the time because I couldn't drive.
Right.
I'm like, and I wasn't going to put nobody else in risk by driving my car out of that hotel. So him and his girlfriend came, picked me up. He took my car to my house. About 20 minutes later, my boss shows up. He's like family. He's like my dad, you know. He's like, I'm taking your car. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. So I gave him the keys, of course. And then 30 minutes after that, a friend of mine came in. He knows the director of a rehab facility. That he's like, you're going to this place.
So someone just manhandled you and say you're going to rehab.
They didn't manhandle me. I just gave up.
Someone gave you tough love. But
Yeah,
you're right.
I did give up though.
Right. Okay.
But then I got out of there. I hope they're not listening because they still don't think I'm drinking. But I go to work every day. I work 8 hours a day. I come home. I sit in a home that me and my son lived in. live in or lived in, and I can't sit here without not drinking. It just, I'm like, do I move on? Do I?
Well, first of all, he's not dead. If he's hanging out that kind of crap, I mean, who knows what kind of? You're looking at his trajectory. 5 more years down the road, he's. I don't want to say something's good is going to come out of this. I don't know, but you're going to see him. You're going to go to visitation, and you're going to, not, but you're going to, you're going to. He will come back, but he can't
Right,
come back to a drunk dad or a dad that's just all out of sorts. Let that be your motivation. Start counting down the days. How much do you weigh now? How much you want to weigh in a year? How much when you go see him again? How much, But you have to you got to keep it together. And I always had in your situation, I always had a hard
right,
time jump starting my sobriety. Because I mean,
right,
I got quit for 2 years. That's not a big deal. Stay and quit. But then getting back into being sober again, that's a different story, man. And so you got to figure out a way to you got to figure out a way that you can just jumpstart your sobriety and get some kind of structure like this little show that I do at 8 o'clock every night. It's
right. I
this.
watch you every night.
Well, thank you. Well, it's good for me. It's routine, and it could be and you'll get to the point to where you're not drunk, or where you're not been drinking when you watch it. And we have
Right.
people, a guy just said he's 7 days sober. We have one guy started watching the show. He's pushing 20 days. But I mean, don't rely on the for what? Don't rely on the show. Trust me. You don't want me you don't want me throwing accountability your way. Trust me. But I really, really think that you have to get involved in something. Are you going? You said you mentioned a therapist earlier. Are you still seeing your therapist?
Yeah, I just seen my counselor today.
What
Actually,
what does she
that's
or
why I had
what
a
do they
good day.
say? Okay, good. What do they
See,
say?
the place I go, there's such a turnover rate. I get a new counselor every 6 months, and now I just met a new counselor today. I
Okay,
mean,
and they don't know. So
because
I guess, are you like a veteran or something, or is like a
no,
county's
no,
paying
it's just
for it, or
the state's paying for it.
so do they get your chart? Okay, out of all these counselors, what's one thing that they've all said? One thing in common that they have that they always tell you or something. What do they? Is there one thing that you could think of that all these different counselors say?
Right?
Pray. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a
You
big one.
know,
Yeah.
it just the one I was with for so long. Me and my son went to her together for years, and she just quit. And then I get used to another one. This lady, Miss Sophia, she was the greatest counselor in the world. She just disappeared. She quit without notice. It's the place they work for, I guess.
So
And I
yeah.
met this other lady today. She's a sweetheart. See,
Was she
there's a
was she
guy that
hot? Be honest. Was she cute? No, I'm teasing.
no, she's an old lady.
I'm sorry. That's I forget what page I'm on. Okay, back to sober time. I'm sorry. I'm just teasing. Uh,
I know you. I know you're just messing
no,
around,
yeah,
but
but Bev
you're
Holland's
cool.
yeah, but Bev Holland just says something. I just structure, 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 and that's why when I get up and I have my coffee, I get up at 6:30, and here lately I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping in a tad. So the past 2 days I've missed my AA meeting. I do this Zoom AA meeting every morning. Try to,
Right.
but when I do that, then I come do the work here at my office, and I do the videos I got to edit and everything, and then sober talk. I know every night at 8 o'clock I'm going to be sober, and I'm going to come talk to people like you, and
Right.
and have my little community here, our little founding members. It's still very small, this little thing here, but as it, I don't know. Anyway, it's just the structure, 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 as Bev Holland says. That is something.
Right. It is.
Yeah. And this Teresa Davis, she just says she had the same experience, constantly switching counselors too much. So I guess you got to figure out a way that you have a therapist, uh, and that's what I like about. I used to go to all these AA meetings in person over the years, trying to get sober and trying to figure out what it was all about.
I don't do AA meetings. I've done them personally, and
Yeah, I
I
hate it.
always
I
find myself
wanting to drink when you left.
running, wanting to drink, wanting to use drugs, running into the wrong people.
Isn't that
That's
funny?
why
Yeah, and
that's why I've been sober off of or clean off of drugs for so long, is because I stay away from them types of meetings.
I will in the defense over. So I've been
I
trying to
do
stop.
online meetings. It's okay.
Yeah, well, that I found an online meeting that I like. I had yet out of the. I know I've gone to over 100 meetings over the year. No, that's a lie. I've gone to 50 meetings at least over the years, and I always kept on going back to the same place, and I saw the same group of characters and folk, and I never jived with them. But I think once you
Right.
find the right group, because that's the one thing I hear, and that's the one thing I say. I hate AA. I'm not going to AA. But once you find a little community like we have here, but with some,
Right.
but what where someone else is AA is obviously here, and sober talk is right here. We're just a bunch of misfits trying to just help each other out.
Right.
But I wouldn't give up. Try the Zoom meetings. I never found a AA meeting where I went in person that I liked. I never did.
Yeah.
So I totally
Me
get it.
neither.
But I have found one. I think right now, once the whole pandemic is over and that we can go to a meeting, the only thing I hate about this meeting is if I have to drive to it, that means I have to get up at 5 a.m. because when I can get up at 6 and make it by 7. By the time I have my coffee and such. But anywho, uh, find a Zoom meeting that you like in your area, and then maybe go to a real one. You go, oh, I recognize that guy. You start recognizing these people, and they kind
Right.
of become your family a little bit, I guess. Although they've never heard me speak, I haven't spoke up, I haven't raised my virtual hand or anything. Uh,
Right.
so what are the takeaways? I got a couple, three other people I need to call. What do you think you're going to do? So you go to work every day, uh,
I go I go to work every day. My They're like my family. It's a family owned business.
right?
I mean, we are family there. We spend holidays together, we do all that. But they don't know that I'm drinking right now again, because I'm not drinking that much. I'm not doing what I was. It doesn't show because I'm drinking diluted vodka. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing what I used to do, so it doesn't show. And I'm
Right.
afraid to tell them that I I've been drinking again.
I think yeah,
Because it was so bad before. He could smell it on me every day I walked in the office, and now he can't smell it. I mean, I haven't been drinking as much as I was, so it's not coming out of my pores and all that stuff.
yeah.
It's like I'm slowly trying to cut down and just get off of it. Period.
And
It's I don't know. It's just then I think I this depression thing. I've tried medication. Medication doesn't work. It's
and
and I've
medication
talked
never works if you're drinking.
right.
It
Well, of
doesn't.
course.
Yeah.
And even when I wasn't drinking, it didn't work. It's a situational depression.
Do you get up and walk or anything? Do you go on walks? You have a dog? You have something else that would you be accountable for? Or, do
I
you?
got a cat.
There you go. Does does a cat drink? Wouldn't it be funny if you had an alcoholic cat? I mean, man, I think you need to.
I'm on my feet all day long.
You are
8 hours
okay.
a
So
day.
you're getting some kind of exercise. Okay.
Oh, 8 hours a day. I'm on my feet. I'm at a car wash.
Okay. Okay.
I run a car wash.
Cool.
I supervise 80 employees.
What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Ohio.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Uh, man,
I'm on my feet all day long. I'm going. I mean, I get 20,000 steps a day.
oh, great. How old of a guy are you?
I'm about to turn 41.
Oh, happy birthday, brother. Here's what I would do.
Thank you.
I can't give you any advice. I'm not a doctor. This is if you feel like you need immediate help, call 911. Go to the emergency room. That's a disclaimer I'm supposed to say every show.
Yeah, I understand that, but no,
I
I'm
would
good.
I would get into our private group or Sober Talk group on our
Hmm.
page Sober Talk, and we have you get some of these veterans are like Carl Martin or Bev or any of these people. I mean, there's plenty of them. Natalie, and let them give you some advice. Kind of bounce stuff off them, and no one's pushing one any. Right now, I'm doing AA. It's working for me. I'm like on day 83. But
Oh,
there's all sorts of things. We talked to two guys last night, back to back. One was 10 years sober, happy as
right.
hell. One was 20 years sober, happy as hell. So I'm not saying AA is the only way because I mean I don't know. I like the structure of it. That's what I like, and I have learned so
Oh,
much
of
from the
course.
steps. I've learned so much from the steps, uh, and I'm just kind of just kind of just
You know,
tiptoeing in my toes in the water there. So
I've learned a lot from the steps myself. I became a minister.
oh wow,
Yeah, I'm a minister, and but just I fell into depression with my son,
right,
and I was sober for a long time.
yeah.
So
Well,
just I don't know.
get into
I
our
just
private group. It's like a support group.
how do I do that?
You're gonna go to the Sober Talk Facebook page. Carl, you're over on Tom Mabe Comedy. That's why you don't see any of the regulars and any of the regular comments. If you want to switch over to Sober Talk, you'll see a picture of me in a sport coat.
Um,
But if you
I'm at
go,
sober talk right now.
you're in
I'm
Sober
on my.
Talk. You see,
I got another phone. Hold on, I just lost it. Okay,
read
hold
the comments, and I'm sure a few of our founding members there will tell you exactly how to join that group. I'm not on that page, but let me make another call, and I will have Bev or Carl show you how to get in that group. Let's see, here we go. Sober Talk. Uh, yeah, I have to
I'm
have
on the
I have
page
to have
right
one of our
now on my
community.
other phone.
All right, I think someone in our community here will help you. Someone do that. Someone reach out to David. How you say your last name, David?
Vernazi.
Vernazzi?
Yeah, Vernazi.
Okay, and show him how to. Here's what Danny Holland says: happiness comes from health, and more health. Uh, Dietary structure. How much straight water are you drinking? Yeah, maybe there you go. Someone suggested drinking a bunch of water as well. So, brother, I want to
I
check
drink
in. I want to
two
check in.
gallons a day.
Wow, and you're at a car wash, so you're probably bathing in the stuff. So, all right, brother. It is good to talk with you. Sorry about missing out last night. I knew that you were in a spot.
Hey, it's
That's all right.
okay. I understand. You got a lot of things you got
It
to
was on a
read.
totally different page. So, all right, we're going to jump off here, and I will talk with you soon, brother. Okay? Join
All
that
right, thanks.
join that group on Sober Talk.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling me. I appreciate your help.
No, we will talk again, my friend. We'll see you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
All right, here, guys. So let's. So yeah, Carl, if you want to see some of the other comments, we have a troll. The good news about the troll, not only will he be disappearing from my page, he may be disappearing from Facebook. I work directly with Facebook. I've tried to block the trolls. One has figured out a workaround, and don't play fetch. Like I tell my kids, when you're playing fetch with a dog and the dog keeps bringing the ball back, you quit throwing the ball, right? There's no fun there. So don't acknowledge the trolls. That's how they are. Sometimes 13-year-olds should not be given freedom of speech while they're in their mom's basement on a daggone computer. So, all right, let's go. Let's go to. Most of us walk around dehydrated all day and feel crappy because of it. It's Danny Holland. Someone said, I just did the first Zoom AA meeting, and I can say I will be doing it again. They also have a 24/7 pop-in whenever you need it. This is Chris Muth. Chris, tell us more about that in the comments. I would like to know. I don't know about that 24/7 pop-in. I know that you can always find an AA meeting while you're while you're, you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to drink. I need to join a meeting. And that's something we're going to do here. I want this to grow into something really, really cool. I don't want Sober Talk being the only show on the Sober Talk website or on the Sober Talk Facebook page. We do have a podcast page out there too, Sober Talk Live. If you rather listen to Sober Talk. And before we make our next call, I do want to say too, special thanks to our sponsor, hempwellnessfarm.com. The sponsor is me. I own a CBD shop, and I want to make some money so I can hire a little person. God, I keep on saying that. Not a little person. That's so derogatory. Someone maybe an intern where I could pay them some, but I want to pay them like $100,000 a year or nothing like that because I don't make any money from doing this. So I'm trying to drive traffic to the hempwellnessfarm.com. We have a physical store in Louisville. And we also have a website. So anyway, let's get to the phones here. Let's call. This is a buddy's of mine. His wife. Her name is Crystal. Yeah, they call her Crystal Meth. I'm teasing.
Hi, this is Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. It's Tom Mabe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you walking into an AA meeting right now, or what? How much time do I have you for here? I got a couple minutes.
Yeah, yep. My girlfriend's picked me up in about 15 minutes.
Oh, good. I could have 5 of that. That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
So you are celebrating. You're coming up on how long have you been sober?
6 months and 23 days.
So wow, congratulations. And was your weapon of choice drugs and alcohol?
No, I am a alcoholic and a compulsive gambler.
Wow, you're a first gambler. I know your husband, and I love your husband dearly. He never mentioned that you were a gambler.
Oh, I'm surprised.
if you're married to him, you're gambling on something. That's what I'm teasing. I love Chrissy. So wow, are you also gambled free as well?
Yes. Yeah, I did have a relapse gambling. It was kind of a weird scenario, one of those things I have to prepare for better. But that's been about 3.5 months ago.
Do you get triggers from gambling? Like if someone goes B14, B4, I mean,
yeah.
Or like these lottery commercials on the TV? Are there triggers for gambling?
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, it's everywhere. I just went to dinner with my mom, and they have a Iowa lottery pull tab machine, which my kids, which are underage, but we always used to buy them, and they would pull them for us, and then we'd turn them in. And so we went to dinner tonight, and my mom hands me a 20 and says, well, will you go get us some pull tabs? And I said, no. And so she went and got them, and my kids opened them, and, whatever. I just have to be mindful not to engage at all. So that really hasn't triggered me because, I have a pretty good understanding of that. But what I've found recently in my alcohol recovery is that I'm having triggers for gambling, but I'm not having compulsions to drink.
Wow, that is so interesting. I did a gig back when Tim Wilson was alive. Tim Wilson's a Southern comic. We did a gig together at a place called not the Horseshoe or it was some casino across the bridge, and they gave us, we had rooms and everything. My wife's like, hey, let's go play some slots, and I got hooked on this little poker, like a little poker machine with buttons you push on it. And we were there for a weekend, and I really got hooked on it so much that I was riding to a gig. I had Belterra is the name of the casino. I was driving up to Ohio, where our friend David's from, that we just spoke to, and I was doing a gig up in Ohio, and I made a pit stop at the casino, and then did it on the way back. And I go, wait a minute, I can see. But it was a double whammy for me because you could get a bourbon and Coke and play the slots or the game or the poker machine, and gamble. So I can see where that could happen now that I think about it. But you're our first ever someone with a gambling addiction to call into the show or be part of the show. So are you struggling now, or and how are you dealing with? How are you staying sober, and how and is it the AA? Is that what your is that your main defense?
Yeah. Yep. Really. I heard the gentleman before me say that AA has never worked for him, and you as well, that you've never really found a group. I don't know where I'm at. Every meeting I have been to in person has been amazing. I mean, we have, and I've heard the older sobriety folks that have long term sobriety that still go to meetings every day say that for a community or a city of our size, we really have a great AA program. It's well run. We have, a lot of support. We have a huge community involvement. Everything that I have learned, every meeting I have been to, I will say, and I go to about 4 a week, 4 or 5 a week. Every single meeting, I have taken something away from that, and actually thought about it. And
You still a chair or something? What do you mean you're taking something away? Oh, you meant
some advice, or some someone's story.
No, I know. I don't know why
yeah.
I'm being so. I slept well last night. No, I'm being a little ornery. I'm being a little ornery. No, last night was a tough night, and I told myself tonight that I was going to make it a little bit of a. No, I was going to go in little. Well, I was going to be, but those stories. I mean, you can take a. It's a reminder how bad things can get, and it's not a joking matter. It's
Right.
Yeah. So no, and I like that about the Zoom meeting. I love the Zoom meeting. My fear is that when and if the pandemic goes away, that they won't have the Zoom meetings. I'm sure they will. But
yeah, I think that's a new way of life forever. I mean, it's so awesome that you can go to a meeting in Australia in the middle of the night. You can go to a meeting in Japan. I mean,
I would love to go to a meeting where they don't speak English. And just try to go out. My name's Tom from Bullock County, Kentucky. Jeez Louise, that would be.
Yeah.
How about that?
They would probably find you pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, but to sit there and to hear that in a different language and the struggles, that'd be so interesting.
Right.
Do you have struggles now? I mean, how often do you go to a meeting?
I go 4 or 5 times a week. So I also struggle with codependency, and my husband, my husband,
Yep.
He's been on your show. He also is very codependent. So I try to work in some codependency. My main focus is the alcohol. That was my, but the gambling, I would say, is equally as destructive to my family and my manageability of my life. But the alcohol is just so readily available, right? I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Where the gambling, you have to, well, not really, I guess. You go to a gas station, you can buy a lottery ticket. I mean, it's pretty easily accessible, too. And it kind of is the same, almost you hear about alcoholics who relapse, where they don't even really realize where they're at, and they just grab the bottle, right? I mean, they're like, it's not their intention. I think that could happen easily with gambling. Just being at the counter, hey, Powerball's up to 250 million, the big signs up there. And It's like, all of a sudden, I need $100 worth of tickets. I'm going to win that,
Oh wow! And have you bid? It's like have you bought $100 worth of a lot of tickets before?
Oh yeah. Powerball, Mega Millions, shit. When it was up to 500 million or $1 billion, I mean, that was big stuff. We definitely, my husband doesn't gamble much. He likes to play cards. He would go to the casino with me if he was drunk and I was drunk. But if he was sober, he didn't want to go, so I had to like get him drunk and then drag him down there. But yeah, so I'd have to really like be sneaky about it if I was going to buy that much in Powerball or whatever. But yeah, I would do that, and he would not tell him.
Wow. And you ever count out the money that you, along with alcohol and the money that you bought scratch offs or Powerball tickets? How much you think you spent a month?
Well,
in your worst case scenario, how much did you spend?
Oh, well, $250,000, I'd say, in my lifetime.
Jeez Louise, that's a home. That's a damn
Oh,
nice home.
that's two of my homes here in Iowa.
Wow. And you guys are in Sioux City, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we have a nice home, but
Yeah.
it's just,
I get it. Yeah.
we're just, yeah, it's ridiculous. I do have a sober app, and I would suggest to anyone out there who's really,
Yeah, I love the apps. Which app do you have?
I have it's sober time, but it calculates. So I calculated that I was spending $25 a day at the bar. That was minus gambling because I gambled at the bar. You have ticket machines in the bar.
Yeah, that's right.
You
That's
know?
right. Very familiar with that.
So I would drop $60, $100 sometimes in those, plus the cost of drinking. So I calculated, on average, my drinking was $25 a day. And that's without the gambling, without my husband's drinking. And so far in the 6 months and 23 days, I've saved $6,000.
Wow.
That's just alcohol.
No, that's good. Yeah, I want to. Leighton Province says something here. You're talking about how you just like go buy the scratch, or you caught yourself not buying a lottery ticket. But he was saying that in one of my many attempts, this is Leighton Province. He said, in one of my many attempts to quit smoking, I woke up late for work, rushed to the gas station for coffee, and instinctively bought a pack of cigarettes. That was after 2 months he quit. So, and I've done the same thing. Someone had a beer, or I remember wait a minute, I can't drink this. I literally had the beverage in my hand, the alcoholic beverage in my hand, thinking I would drink it, and realize oh no, wait, I can't do this. I got a problem with my allergy or disease or my screwed upness, whatever you want to call it. I just can't drink. But I would forget for a second. And Leighton said he did that with cigarettes. I think that's very interesting. So
yeah, I mean that's common for alcoholics, and relapses, and it's just you think that you're over it, right? You think, oh, I don't have this compulsion to drink, but yeah, I mean I've had the same thing in my house where my mom will come over. She's an alcoholic also, and she'll bring beer, and I'll reach for her to get her a beer, and I'll just automatically grab myself one, but I won't open it. But I'm standing there like, whoa, I don't need this. This is not for me. What am I doing?
Yeah, old habits die hard, and it just becomes a thing. Well, okay. And also, you were saying your sister passed away 15 or 16 years ago.
My sister died 15 years ago. Monday was her 15-year death anniversary.
And you usually, you're usually drunk on her anniversary. You usually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for sure. I mean, my sister was an alcoholic. She was severely depressed. She was an alcoholic. She was young. She was 24. But she couldn't do it anymore. Killed herself. And so our pastime together in our 20s was to drink and gamble. And so on her anniversary, I was drunk every day anyways, but on her anniversary, I would, make a special trip to the bar that we hung out at, and I would take, our favorite shot, and I would play the sad, sappy music and just get hammered, and, just like everything else. But that was a special day. I would post it on Facebook. Hey, it's been so many years. Come have a drink with us. And it was just, it's just another excuse to get drunk.
And that's that you bring up a good point. I won't keep you much longer, but people try to stop, and nothing seems to work, so they end up taking their lives. And I remember asking a buddy who was an addict. He was an alcoholic and a user of something, and he would go, I can't. I said, how you doing, brother? He goes, I can't get 6 feet under soon enough. I just want to die instantly. He said, I can't deal with this. And now he's probably the happiest person around that I know. So
right. Well, and that's what I was kind of my message on Monday. So my plan, that's the thing. You have to prepare yourself. You want to live in the moment. You want to live in the day. You want to take things as they come. But you have to be prepared for these. I've had so many firsts in the last 6 months. I've had my 40th birthday. Did I ever imagine that I would not be drinking on my 40th birthday? No, because I drank on every birthday since I've been 18. Um, you know, and that was a big, important birthday. You know, you drink because you're sad, you drink because of loss, but you also drink to celebrate.
Right.
And so I had my 40th birthday. We had our first 4th of July. We had, Labor Day, our first camping trip. Um, all of those things you have to prepare for. So I bring colors. We color. We do crafts. We're so nerdy now, and we're actually like biker people, and we are tattooed, and we've
Yeah.
got jail and prison sentences, and we're like hardcore, but now we're coloring and doing crosswords, and we're
Oh, that's awesome.
going to AA meetings, and
Well,
we've
how was
found
that, real quick, before you jump? How was the camping? How was the camping, uh, you know, without beer?
Well, my husband was still high at the moment, so
Oh,
for me it was
this wasn't recently. Okay, I hear.
no, it was recently. It was at the beginning of the summer, so it was probably in May.
Okay, but
My
not
husband
not
got
since he
on-
got sober the last time. Okay.
no. He's got 80 some days of sobriety now, but
Yeah, I think he and I kind of started around the same time. Yeah.
yeah, right. And so he was high, he was hiding it. I was sober, and I was trying to manage that. So my sobriety, it relied on me having a lot of things to keep me busy.
Right.
So I would bring bring the colors, bring the crosswords. I had to separate myself from the other group. The other thing they talk about is the HALT message, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
Yes.
I had to plan for those sort of.
Oh, wow. So that's something you take away from an AA meeting: the HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired.
Tired. Those are all triggers for pretty much every alcoholic out there.
Yeah.
And they could be minor. You could you fall into those patterns, and those really they come for pretty much every addiction. I mean, those can be really strong in codependency.
Yeah.
Feelings that you need to prepare for. So preparation and just having an out. That's the other thing they talk about in AA is that you have an exit plan. That you still want to be social. You don't want to isolate yourself, because isolation can be a trigger for drinking or gambling or anything. So you need to want to be able to be flexible enough to go and see people, but you want to see people that are on the same level as you. You don't want to go sit at your old bar. When I first got sober, I thought I could sit at my bar. I'm going to go visit all my barstool buddies. They're going to see how great I'm doing, and it's going to be fine. I'm going to drink my NA, and it'll be great. And I found after about the third visit there, I was like, I really want to drink here. I have to get the hell out of here. And so I had to, and it was sad, and it was a loss, and there's a lot of loss in recovery, it feels like. But there's a lot to gain. There's just a lot of things. But preparation, for sure, is really important. Tracking your sobriety is good for some people. That will help you. I mean, you look at that every day. You see those numbers add up. You see that time in. And
I'll ask Chris. I'll ask you later about that app, because that app sounds like a really unique one. I gotta jump because I didn't realize we are already at 10 to 9 almost, and I need to call my next person. Well, have fun at your AA meeting. Tell Chris I said hi. And all right. Well, thanks, Crystal. I appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks, Tom. Bye.
All right. See you. Bye. So that was Crystal Anderson. That's Chris's better half. When I say better half, I mean really the better half. Chris is kind of weird, so I'm teasing. Chris is a buddy of mine. He's a great dude. Let's read some of these. Eric Drake says, to be able to do all the hobbies you did while drinking now sober is really awesome. It's tough to do. I picked up a lot of hobbies that I wasn't able to do because I was drunk, and I was so drunk that I went to bed praying to God to help me stop. God. Adam, let's see here. It's an important accomplished. Okay. Let's go to our next caller, guys. Thanks for. I'm a little off kilter tonight, but I'm only human. I'm wearing Pumas. Let's see here. We're going to call our last caller here. This is Well, let's see. We have two callers, so let's hurry this up. We're gonna call David Edmiston. We may go a little over. I forgot we have two callers. We got David Williams call too. Yeah.
Hello,
Hey, brother, Tom Mabe from Sober Talk. How are you?
Tom. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you,
Seem
man.
like you feel a lot better today.
I do feel better. I've still got a little bit of sniffles. My throat. That part went away. I was kind of losing my voice yesterday, but thank you for noticing. Tell me your story, man. What's your weapon of choice? What's your poison?
Well, I started smoking cigarettes at 12, and by the time I was 18, I was drinking and I'd done several other drugs, so I was pretty much a trash can addict, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah, garbage can. Yep,
For
I've heard
several
that.
years.
Yep.
And it finally leveled out into just alcohol, and the alcohol got to be pretty serious several times. I'm one of those people who keeps trying to quit, keeps trying to quit. And I have a little cottage out by my house here, and
Is that like your man cave, your beer cave?
well, no, actually, I had it built so that if either Teresa Smullen is in the room as well. She's my fiance, my perpetual fiance. We've been together for over 10 years.
Okay.
But in any event, I originally built it so that if either of our parents needed to go someplace, they didn't have to go to a home. It's a fully functional place. And it turns out we've named it Courage Cottage because off and on we've both come in and out of here to get away and try and sober up.
Can I tell you something?
And,
Courage Cottage, boy, that sounds like a great rehab facility, a treatment center. Courage College, I love that. You should buy CourageCollege.com.
Well, it's Courage Cottage. It's just a little cottage.
Yeah, cottage. What was I calling it? College? Yeah, cottage. My bad.
Yeah, it's just a place to go so that we can, get away from the house. It's a big house and a lot of responsibility, and we've got a child, and he's an amazing kid too. And we never
Hold on.
wanted to see it.
You're on second kid, and you've been engaged for 10 years.
Yeah.
Is she waiting for you to get your crap together? I mean, what's going on here? Why has it been 10 years? I'm going off script here, but why does one wait 10 years to get married?
Financial reasons.
Okay.
It wouldn't make sense to get married at this point. Once Derek goes off to college, or once he turns 18. Anyway,
I get it.
We'll
So was your fiance? Was she? What was her weapon of choice? What was her poison?
Well, it started out with Xanax, and she really struggled with that terribly. She took a dose that would kill an elephant. I forget what it was, 11 grams a day or something like that. She'll probably type it in if you watch the scroll and stuff. But
Gotcha.
in any event, she finally had to go into rehab because her doctors, like someone was saying earlier, that the doctors switch out. Her doctor literally fired her, and she was left without any way to get any Xanax, and she was highly addicted. She had to go into rehab to save her life.
Wow.
Good to say that she's clear of it now. She still takes Xanax, but at a normal level, like somebody with the anxiety that she has should take. But yeah, we both progress in and out of here. I wanted to say something about Natalie. I saw the picture that she posted earlier today, and I was so worried, that she would go ahead and drink it. And I just want to make it clear to anybody who might be listening, we never fail. We just fall. It's like a toddler. A toddler doesn't fail when they go down on the floor. They just fall. They get back up and they keep going. So never think you failed. Always remember the next day, I just fell. I'm going to get back up and start again.
I love that. Someone said early on when I first, like episode 2 or 3 of Sober Talk, it was something from the Bible, and I wrote it down on a piece of scrap paper. You can't see all the junk I have in front of me, but one of these pieces of paper has something that says, It wasn't wise. It was like a wise man will fall 7 times, a wise man will get up 7 times. I forget what it was, but boy, but you're right. It's like a toddler. You fall down, you get back up. So don't
Right. Yeah.
judge progress,
Exactly.
perfection. But if you are noticing if you are having more, if you're staying on the ground more than you are getting up, it may be time to get some outside help. And that's what I had to do. I had to get some outside help, So yeah, and your Teresa just said
Well, I've
7.5
had it.
milligram.
I've been to outside help. I did a 10-day stint in a rehab. That's all the insurance would pay for. They wanted to keep me for the full 30 days or whatever it is, 28 days or.
28
But
days.
within 10 days, they came to me and they said, "You got to go. We're done with it." But it lasted me 10 months. That's the longest I've been sober since I was 18. And I find myself time and again where I'll come out here to Courage Cottage and I'll take the time to study a book. I'm not a I have social anxiety disorder. It's very difficult to be talking right now. But I have
You
a
would never
book
know
called
it. You
30
would
Days.
never know it. And
Well,
real quick,
I was a musician,
oh, I see. I see.
so I've been on stage and I can perform as needed, like as far as I can do speeches and stuff like that. But in a social situation, 12-step programs and AA and stuff don't really work well for me. I did the 12 steps, and it didn't last. It just wasn't for me. But I did find a book that's called The 30-Day Sobriety Solution, and it addresses a lot of what attracted me to join your group here, which is that there are many different ways to quit.
Absolutely,
Not
absolutely.
just
And,
AA.
and real quick for people, it's called the 30-day sobriety solution.
That's correct. Yeah, it's an older book, and I got mine used off of
Amazon,
Amazon or
yeah. Uh-huh.
whatever. And it's been invaluable. It gives you tools to work with, and that's where the fail to fall comes from. And it's a great resource. So anybody who and really they actually encourage you to not worry about stopping drinking for the first few days as you read through the first few days worth of the book, and then after that they start saying now you need to decide what day you're going to quit, and have one of those set up. And then by the seventh day, they're like, you should have quit by now. You keep going.
Hey, Teresa keeps piping in. Teresa says that this is my fiance, and you guys have dealt with addiction together, and she says she was taking 7.5 milligrams of I don't know what that means. My math is awful, but yeah, but that's wow. That's I'm glad is she beat that? She's off that?
Yeah, she's off of that. She's like I said, she still takes the Xanax, but at a normal level and well controlled. Not like the doctor that she had. The doctor that she had was actually prescribing them to her in a terrible way. Just let her get way too far out. It was as if he'd given up on her anxiety and just tried to medicate the heck out of her.
Yeah. I had a doctor once tell me, he said, "You're not an alcoholic, dude." He said, you get the worst ADHD I've ever seen in my entire life." And whether that's true or not, boy, I took it. Well, yeah, I'm cured. I don't, and I bought a 12-pack on the way home. So it's.
Well, Tom, they do say a lot of comedians suffer from ADHD.
Oh, dude, mine is so bad. I'll have ADD in the middle of a joke, like knock knock, who's there? Who's where? I mean, I will. I'm my ADD. When I was a kid, it wasn't called ADD. It was called Tommy needs a spanking. So, that's how bad it can get. And but so that's I love Courage Cottage.
I had one other topic I wanted to touch on.
Hit it.
Two people last night kind of brought this up, and what they brought up was that Jeremy had asked at the very end of your show, where he said that is it possible for an alcoholic to get to the point where they could just drink socially? And this book does address that, And
What does
I
what does
learned
it say?
from
Because I know if you're an alcoholic like me, there's not a chance in hell you'll ever be able to drink socially unless you're drinking coffee or Diet Coke. What does that book say
and
about that?
that's probably the way it's going to be for me, Tom. When I drink, I don't just drink a few. It's an event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, drinking is an event. It's not just a few drinks. And
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm trying to shoot for that. That's where I want to be. And I think that's every alcoholic's dream, is just be in a position where they're, you know, I can just drink a few and be done. Go home and eat pizza and go to bed or whatever. But, you know, the book says that that's very few and far between, although some people can get there and some people do. And you've proven it because, you know, there are people who have talked about sheer willpower or, you know, just a little bit of whatever they did put them in a position where they were able to quit altogether. And I think somebody even said that, you know, they got themselves to where they're not drinking as much, but they still want that structured help, you know. So, you know, there is a possibility of that, but it's very rare. And I'm here to tell you, Tom, I don't know that it's going to work for me. I don't think I'm one of those few. And henceforth,
Or maybe you're one of
here I
those
am,
guys.
sober.
Maybe you're just one of those guys who takes a break, and then you go back out, and you hope that you don't break the law.
Well, I never go back out. I'm a fat drinker. I drink alone, or I drink with my fiance if we're both drinking at the same time. Like I said, we
I
go
mean,
back
like,
and forth.
well, when you fall off the wagon, this I'm going back up means like falling off the wagon. So, you know, where I take a year off, and then I'm going to drink. But every time I would take when I met my biological father, I said, "Hey, Paul," I said, do you drink?" He said, "Tommy, on my side of the family, you drink or you don't drink." And you guys heard that story a million times. So I do know it's hereditary. And poor Natalie, I hear you, baby. I hear you screaming. Natalie, she says just so her can't keep her mind stop racing. And there's that that restlessness, that irritable and discontent, and she's trying to fight off the drinking demons. But you may be one of those. You know, you quit or you drink or you don't drink. I really, really think that. And if you are wired like me, there's no social drinking, and you'll go out and
You're
you'll.
probably right.
And no, I know I'm right. For me, the way I know exactly I'm right about me. And what's sad is you keep on drinking. It's Russian roulette. It is Bud Light roulette. It's just you drink, and you drink until you do something so damn bad that you say I can't drink no more.
Yeah, if it was
So,
only Bud Light for me, I'm a liquor drinker.
yeah, well, I can't do that. So you'll do something, you'll do something so damn bad that you'll go like, oh, I gotta save face. I gotta stop drinking. I gotta stop drinking. That's the vicious cycle for me.
Oh, I've been there several times.
Yeah,
How
and
many
it's a,
times do you think I've tried to quit? I'm like you, over and over and over again. You know, and you're doing so well. And
dude, I'm 83 days
and you know
in.
what?
This is yeah. I've been drinking for 20,000 days. You know, so it's I'm excited and
Very
happy
amazing.
that I have a little group here. I'm doing the AA meetings, which I really, really love. I'm working with
And that works for a lot of people.
well,
Some
if you
people
work the
drink
steps,
for
I
both,
find that
you
if you
know.
work the steps and the steps start making sense and you start getting behind it. Now, also I got therapy too, so I'm doing therapy, I'm doing an AA meetings for the camaraderie and the people to like explain the steps. You know, I think it's going to take a lot for me, not just, I think it's going to take sober talk. It's going to take a Zoom meeting with AA. It's going to take a therapist. And my deal is just trying to get happy and content, not restless like our friend Natalie is right now. Natalie and I are wired exactly alike. You know, like, and most of the people in this room, in this group, there's 50 people watching right now. We are all wired like this. It freaking sucks that we're like this. But from what I'm understanding, that once you realize how you're like and how you do this, and you know how you know how we do, but once you get happy and you start living life without abusing drugs or without drinking, it's amazing. When I went 2
I've
years,
been there before, and I want to go back so bad, Tom.
no, I get it. And
That-
when I'm sober, I'm a week away from buying an airplane, and when I'm drinking, I'm a week away from being homeless. And there's always I get so much accomplished when I'm not drinking. There's no way I could do this show every night or any kind of a show, you know, while I was drinking. There's no way in hell
Oh.
that I could get this accomplished. And I'm not getting anything out of it monetary wise. But it's so great to be able to do this. This is the most fun I have. This is incredible. I
Well,
love
I
doing this.
told you, Tom, you need to put a plate out. Just ask for $1. They do it at the AA meetings, and it costs you money to do what you're doing. And on that note,
We have a
as the
sale
last
at
note,
75
because you got
cents.
other-
For what you pay for AA, you got these. No, well, no, there's on my Tom Mabe comedy. Here's something I noticed. People are starting to, it's like be a supporter. It's like $4 a
I'm a
month or something.
supporter.
Well, thank you for doing that. That helps out, and I have to look at that money. I'm going to hire someone to come in here nightly to help me make sure that I'm recording, make sure the camera's focused. I got a room full of cameras. I could cut away to bits and the stories and stuff. I'm using that one camera right there and the one mic here. There's so much more I can be doing. I look forward to it. But there's a certain sweetness to kind of being Tom Mabe unplugged, just one camera and a microphone. So, well, I'm going to call our other David. Tonight's been a show of Davids, 3 Davids back to back. And then we're going to read something from the scriptures, David.
Hey, Tom, one more thing.
Sure, brother.
I just want to say, I know that you say that, that this show, you're doing it because it helps you, but know that we all appreciate what you're doing. And I can
But
tell
I don't
by
care.
all
I
the
don't care about you
people
guys.
you're
I don't care about you. It's about me. No, I'm
Yes, you
teasing.
do.
I do, and I love all you. I say it every night. I love you guys so much, and it does. To have these strangers and we're all connecting in some kind of way, and it's the way that hey, we were, for whatever reason, although it sucks, we are wired this way. We didn't. This is not something that just happens. I could tell when my son was 5 years old, I told my wife, I said, he's an alcoholic. She said, what are you talking about? I said, I could tell. You could just tell how someone's wired. I probably got 40 hate mails sitting in my inbox right now for saying that, but I could just tell. And in the big book, I was telling my wife, I said, I think both kids could benefit from these steps. They use the steps for the same steps they do for gambling, alcoholism, chocoholic, food eating. Those steps work, and for a lot of people. And
They do.
yeah, and
You're
again,
right.
I'm not a big book Bible thumper. Although this lady sent me one of the original. Found out this is one of the original AA books, one of the big books. Oh, look, and there's notes from her grandfather or father that are in here. This is an amazing thing. I gotta find her name again and give her a shout out. Here, how cool is that? And it has a
That's
little
amazing.
that little handbook in here. They don't even call it the big book. It's Alcoholics Anonymous Comes of Age. Uh,
I'll bet some of those notes are invaluable too.
yeah. That's I have to go through. I've just been busier than a cricket and a hubcap. But well, David, thank you. First of all, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for those kind words. And when you said I was doing this for myself, I'm doing it for all of us. We all have a place to go. And one day when I go on vacation,
We're
someone
all
will come in.
related to it.
Yeah, someone will come to Louisville. They'll sit behind this desk and they will host Sober Talk while I go down to the beach with my daughter or something. So that's the plan, to be a community and just to keep it going. And yeah, and Natalie says, you're having a blast doing the show. I am, Natalie. It's great. So let's wrap it up, David. What else? Anything else? Parting words before we for call the next David?
That's all I got to say for now.
Tell Teresa hello and love to have her on. I love Courage Cottage. I think that's amazing. Sorry for interrupting you. I've been drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm all jacked up on caffeine. I did have a little bit of a Sprite earlier, but I've been doing a lot of, I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyway, I'm just a little fun tonight. So I will talk.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, and you have a fantastic night, Tom.
Talk with you soon. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye. So that was David. I think we got one more David to call. Tom is doing great too. Thanks, Star Jack. Bev Hall, let's see here. Are there anything? Let's see. Darjack has a goatee like I do. Darjack Hansen, is that Darren and Jack? I remember that. Sorry, dude. Good to see you. Hi. I forgot who you were for a second. Sarah Ann's with us. Teresa Davis. We just got off with her better half. Mike Mann's here. Hey, the not yet syndrome. I like that. Uh, let's call our last caller, and we will call it a night. So we had David Benazzi, David Edmiston. Now we're calling David Williams.
Hello.
Hey, David, Tom Mabe, how are you?
I'm good.
So what's happening with you? Sorry, I'm calling late, man. If I had a producer here, I would have him call you and say I was running late. But I'm running a tab behind. But
Okay.
so are you free now, or when we call you tomorrow night?
Well, I'm going to Japan in about. We're leaving for Japan in about an hour and a half.
Oh, dude. Well, go
So,
get ready, and unless you want to take 5 minutes and just say hi, or we can call you when you get back.
Yeah, I'm literally just putting my suitcase together. So
Yeah, we'll do. So
I'll give you a message when I get back, and we'll do it when I get home.
all right, buddy. Have a safe travels to you.
All right. Hey, thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
So wow, I ran late. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We are Carl, I'll probably give you a call on the way home. I want to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sober Talk. We have a lot of good ideas. We really want to, during the day, have come in the studio and do another type of show during the day, maybe another host. Just don't know what we're going to do yet, but I know that we are going to do more than what we are doing. I think it's a way of life. I just love the whole concept of helping other people while you're helping yourself. I think that's cool as beans. And yeah, so I'm just checking emails and messages. You keep on hearing this clicking. That's me over here. I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to stay on top of things. So we will talk with you guys soon. Oh, Carl says Tom has dropped the Perrier routine. I need to stock up on Perrier, Carl. I really do. Tim Crane, thank you, Tom. I appreciate everything that you're doing. I'm on the West Coast, so I don't always get your show. Okay, Tim Crane, thank you, buddy. Darren, safe travels. Tim Crane, thank you, Tom. I appreciate everything you are doing. We just read that one. That's right. I only have one call. Let me try something real quick because I want to go back and see if we can see some of the other comments here real quick. Let's see if this works. No, I don't. This is yesterday's show. All right, guys. I love you. I'm going to go home and play with my dogs and talk to my children. Something I don't do enough of.